seated? Will you be seated or you?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down.
Oh.
Right. So it's starting to roll now. We're good. All right. So we're with Chateau Musar, the renowned Serge Hochar, and trying right now the 1996 white. So tell us about this wine, Serge.
I would say Kampai. You know what means Kampai?
No.
It's Salute
Okay.
in Japanese.
In Japanese.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This is the history of wine becoming something, an international drink.
An international drink. Well, it's true. Wine is everywhere.
Which is the aim of the wine history when it started to be made by God billion years ago. That it will be the link between humans. So this is why it's becoming a global drink.
Yes.
Okay? So I drink to this. I drink to you with this. Okay? Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm amazed because I did not expect to taste in 1996. I haven't tasted it for a while. So today, in fact, I'm tasting a new thing, a new history, because as this wine evolves through age, I never had a 1996 for the last 4 years.
So it's been 4 years since
Yeah.
you've tried this wine.
So I must say that it has evolved nicely. It is now at the stage where it drinks beautifully. It would need another 30 years, but it doesn't matter.
Only 30?
I think 30 will help.
So you do comment that your whites are like your first reds.
Yeah, because the story of the whites is way more fascinating than the story of our reds. Our whites are produced out of local indigenous grapes to Lebanon, which are the oldest grapes on earth, which are behind all the wines. All the Vitis vinifera originated in that part of the world. And it was the Phoenicians who started exporting the wine before and then the vines. So those grapes which are in this wine, which are called Merwah and Obaidi, Merwah being the ancestor of the
Chardonnay? It's okay.
of the Semillon.
Semillon.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm thinking to something else. So the Merwah has the same leaves than the Semillon, so it's the ancestor. And the other one is the ancestor of Chasselas, but also the family of the Chardonnay grapes.
Mm-hmm.
So those two grape varieties have been in Lebanon for ages. But the advantage of those grapes, this is why I call them, this is my first red wine, this is my white wine, because those grapes do mature after the grapes mature after the reds. And if you want, we have planted 10 years ago Chardonnay, Viognier, and those grapes do mature early August, the Chardonnay, while those grapes in this wine do mature mid to end October, 2 months later.
Mm-hmm.
But the more important thing that the alcohol content of the Chardonnay picked up in August
Mm-hmm.
is around 14 degrees of alcohol. This grape harvested in October is below 12 degrees of alcohol content. So imagine 2 months later it has less sugar content. This is why, because this grape ripens after the red,
Mm-hmm.
I call it my first red. The other thing that those grapes are not grafted. They are on their original rootstock, which is very important. Very important. This is probably one of the reasons why the grapes do not mature before October.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know yet. We are trying to learn on it, to study it. It's things we are working on. But it is sure that the fact that it's on the original rootstock that makes that those wines do not mature, those grapes do not mature before October.
That's very interesting. Have you done trials then with some of those vines grafted to see the difference?
Up to now, I refused.
You refused?
Yeah, because I'm afraid that by grafting them will induce the phylloxera to get in the region where I plant.
Okay, I see.
So I'm still
You're hesitant.
I'm hesitant. Although my son, my winemaker, would like to try, but they would like to try it with grafted because they are afraid that the phylloxera could develop. But I told them the phylloxera has not developed for 200 years. Why you are afraid now? But this is a different subject. I prefer not to venture into it.
So it's controversial.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think this is a wine which has the ability to live forever. It's a wine, once you open the bottle, you drink it today, you drink it tomorrow, you drink it in 1 week, it's always impressive. And this is why it's a wine which has qualities which I have never found in many other grapes of the world. One of the things which is mostly impressive is the way those grapes becoming wine give to the liquid a kind of life which is impressive. They have a life which in the wine, in the mouth, shows itself very clearly. Taste it and you understand how you discover life in the wine. The wine has the ability to talk to your tongue. You see? It expresses itself very, very subtle, with subtlety, but very, it weighs a lot. It has some, and more of this, it has some depth, which is impressive. It stays, it lingers, it never finishes. So this is very quickly becomes memorable. This is why I call wine which has no memory should not be drunk. Okay. What did you ask me a question? I forgot, sorry. Lindsay, I did forget the question you did ask me.
I don't remember either now, so we're going to have to find a new one. Well, we talked about the grafting, which you said was controversial at least. So
No, I remember quite well the question. It was just to put some fun into our conversation. Because
Okay.
for me, if I don't see you smiling, I'm not inspired. So once I look at you serious, I like to see you smiling to understand the message I have to communicate. So by smiling, you make my inspiration grows.
well, I'm concentrating on the wine. There's so much happening with this particular wine. It has a beautiful viscosity on the palate. It has some really good mid-palate length as well. A lot of wines that you find nowadays sometimes are lacking something there. So whether that, if we're looking at the philosophy again, is just the life or the what's another word of putting it, the honesty, I guess, would be part of that too, in terms
The truth.
of the truth.
The truth, yes. In fact, this wine is really true. It reflects nature, and because those wines have no additives, no makeup, nothing, you are drinking something which has been the result of pressing the grapes, becoming juice, fermenting, becoming wine, and that was it, and nothing else. So it's important, because if you have, once you know how to taste, if you have experience, which is your case today, you understand very quickly that those wines look very true. They are true to themselves, they are true to you, and this is why they have the ability to linger so much, and also not to live so much. More than lingering, they have the ability to live. Imagine it's a wine which is almost 18 years of age, 17.
It's legal to vote.
Good. Now you made me laugh. Okay.
Well, no, it's a beautiful wine, and I've mentioned before that I think I like the whites probably more even than the reds, just in terms of their intrigue. So.
Yeah. Now, in those wines, because of the 1 month more maturing in the sun, they have tannins which are not usually found in the whites. They are not because they are not found in the white because the fact that it remains in the ground for 1 month makes that the tannin of the wood, the tannins which goes into grape, are bigger. And those wines have a tannin which makes that many people tasting those wines blind imagine they are drinking red wine. If you close your eyes and you taste this wine, you wonder, what the hell am I drinking? Am I drinking red or white?
Have you tried tricking people?
Oh. In 1971, I received 21 winemakers from Burgundy. And they were tasting wines, they were enjoying themselves. Suddenly somebody said, Sir, could we taste, I would like to put the red and the white, and we're going to taste them blind. They closed their eyes, not looking to blind, not blind, tasting blind, eyes folded. And many people were not able to distinguish the red from the white. They did not know which one was the red, although they had red and white. So, in fact, there is something definite in this wine. If you taste it, you close your eyes and you let it go and go and go, you could imagine, oh, it's definitely a red wine, it's not a white one.
But definitely in terms of structure on the palate and like you're talking about the tannins, it has a lot more to it.
Exactly. In fact, if you want, the wine which makes the difference is the skin contact. But if the wine, the grapes age 1 more month or mature 1 more month, it has a contact with the juice. The skin has a contact which is very important, which is probably more important than the contact of the red grapes 1 month earlier. So this is why those wines have this ability to confuse people. I have had many stories about the subject. It happened probably at least 20 times. I had people tasting the wine and I said, this does not taste like a white wine. But white wine by their standard, they don't. Who knows? The standards of wine are evolving permanently. And this is something interesting to say because it will explain to you how much the taste is complex, how much the taste is such a confusing thing. One day I asked a lady who came to interview me like you, and she was not wine connoisseur, but she was a great journalist. But she was talking as she would know what taste was. I told her, okay, I'm going to offer you 1 bottle of Chateau Musard. You'll take it to your room. You'll put it near your bed. You open the bottle, and the first night you'll pour half this in the glass. You'll drink it. You'll taste it and drink it, and then you go to sleep. And you sleep with it in your brain. Next day, when you come back to sleep, you take another same glass, but you look to the wine, and I guarantee you it will be different, but it will be more attractive. 2 weeks later, she sent me an email. She took the bottle.
She took the bottle.
Took the bottle, told me thing. 2 weeks later, she sends me an email. She said, oh, Mr. Hochar, I forgot to ask you, I need a picture of your father, your brother, and your children, because I want to make my article about the whole family. So I need the pictures. By the way, I tasted the wine the way you told me. The first night I tasted the wine, and she described the wine as if she was a professional. She used words which were impressive. The second night, the color has changed, but once I tasted it, and then she describes what she tasted the second day. After 2 weeks, when she sent me the letter, she had not finished the bottle.
She was still drinking it 2 weeks later.
And she told me, I have never been so confused by my taste and by something like this experience. I do thank you because it had opened my brain to a new approach to senses which I was not aware of. But what was more confusing, that those wines have the ability to change every day. So, and this is how it confirmed my opinion about the subject. those wines, as you open them and you drink them, has the ability to change every day. So it will be a great experience if you accept to make the essay.
So accept the Musar challenge.
Exactly.
You can start a new promotion.
Okay, no promotion.
Take the Musar challenge.
No, new promotion, no, but new opener, new eye opener, new
Yes.
experiences. This is important. So, and today, this is why I'm so fascinated by my wines. I'm really, if I have to take one red and one white, I compare. I discovered that if you want to taste the red, you have millions of things, but you have, if you want something like this, which is as a highway, big highway, but one highway. If you taste the whites, it has a different dimension. It's more than a highway, it's a whole globe which you enter. Why? I don't know why. I've never been able to understand how come that the white could have a bigger dimension than my reds. Maybe one day I'll be able to explain it, but so far I have not been able. And it's something which is also challenging my brain.
So it's still a mystery.
Yes, this is, I like the mystery. Usually I say wine and miracle, but the mystery of wine is more tricky than the miracle of wine. It's an interesting subject. I'm happy that you did choose to have a white. Now, if you look to the color of this white,
If you can
yeah.
see that there.
Yeah, but it has a honey color, but it has many things. It has ambers. What is more fascinating, and this I did it the first time probably 12 years ago, that the color of the wine evolves and has more charm and more attractiveness. Why? I don't know. I really, really don't know. If you have the ability one day to do it for 3-4 days just to learn. Because I say many wines, once you open them, after a couple of hours, lose. Those wines, after a couple of hours, gain all the way through, on the nose, on the eyes, on the palate. And this is fascinating. Sorry, you wanted me to talk about white. Why you wanted me to talk about white? Why white?
Why white?
Why white?
Why not?
Good. Why not? Why white not? Why white not?
No, I think these are some of the most interesting whites I've ever tried, and
Okay.
it's something that's, especially being indigenous varieties, is something that I think is a big advantage nowadays when everybody is doing strictly Sauvignon Blanc, Chardonnay, very mainstream varieties, that this is something that I think for a lot of wine drinkers would be taking them to a completely different level, not only in terms of just being different grape varieties, but also in the style of wine, which is a much more, you don't like the word serious, but it's a much more demanding, I think, style of wine than many people may be used to.
Yeah, I use one word. I say those wines are not for here, for the tummy. They are for the brain. Because once you taste them, they make you think, and they make you work a lot. This is why I call my wines, they are cerebral wines.
That's good. It's like good artwork, I suppose, right? But
Like?
if you see good art, the question of what is art
yeah.
is obviously a big question, but the fact that good art, supposedly, is art that gives you an emotional reaction,
Okay.
right?
Art.
So wine, something similar?
Oh yeah, definitely. Wine is the essence of art is wine, because all arts have a more different objective. For example, if you have the art of music, has the objective to bring things to your ears and make you feel emotion through your ears. The painting is a different kind of art which uses your eyes. The dance uses your eyes and your ears. The only thing which uses your eyes, your ears, and your feelings is the wine.
So it has more facets than other types of art, perhaps, then.
This is a Summa arts.
Super arts.
Summa. You know Summa?
Summa?
Summa arts is is in it in Latin. The summum.
Okay, some of all arts.
Summa is because ars is feminine, so summa ars is the biggest art. Okay,
Oh, it's very interesting.
you're learning.
I'm learning a lot. I always learn with you,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
many different new things.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for your time. I think I've probably already cut into a lot of other stuff you should be doing. So
It doesn't matter. As long as I enjoyed myself, I hope you were happy by listening what I told you. And I hope that at this level we could talk a little bit more clearly than before. Are we going to check?
we can check and see, yeah, and if
Okay,
it's
we
come
can-
through.
Mhm.
But certainly without all the background noise, it should be okay.